Well, good morning. This is Tuesday, July 5th, and another gorgeous um, Colorado morning. Um, I've made it to July 5th. Seeing how my original date I was going to kill myself was March 16th, I've actually made it, you know, almost 4 more months. I'm sorry, good. My eyes always itch. Um, I never thought I'd make it this far. But, I think I'm down to T minus 24 to 30 hours. Um, this will be my final video. This is to Brendan. And I got to tell you, Brendan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You listened and you cared. You actually cared enough to send someone out, a caseworker, to come out to check on my well being twice. I can't tell you how much that means. Certainly, my family couldn't even check with me to see how, to ask me how I am on multiple levels. Not my heart, not my depression, uh, certainly not with threatening, a suicide. Um, but I know you had told me at one point that you've never lost a client. And trust me, you have not lost me. My life was made so much better with having you in it. You gave me care and comfort when I needed it the most. That speaks volume to the human being you are. Um, it's just, I had made this decision, you know, a year ago, June. Um, and I've really never wavered. Well, I did waver from that decision. I didn't and still don't want to do it, but I've put obstacles in my life that I can't surmount. Uh, First and foremost, I should have been evicted 2 weeks ago. Um, so I'm waiting for it literally any minute. Yesterday or the whole weekend was wonderful because on a holiday weekend, the cops aren't going to come to arrest me and they're not good, they weren't going to come to evict me. So it was a really peaceful and nice weekend. But now I'm back, having to harbor the anxiety and fear that any moment my time might be up. And, I'm playing the odds now. I need to kill myself before I'm arrested. Um, and, if I'm not out of here, they'll bring the police to kick me out. And if the police show up, they'll run a check. And, I don't have one, but two warrants. What the second one's for, I don't know. Probably something my, family managed to concoct against me. Um, but, I just wanted to let you know I stopped coming to you and talking to you because, I knew I needed to execute my plan. And I know you were going to try to talk me out of that. And I just didn't want to lie and tell you things that weren't true. Um, Also another, you know, insurmountable hurdle is, um, you know, getting arrested, obviously, but also, my credit rating went from 700 in March to like 480 now. Um, I don't have it in me anymore to work to take the 10 more years to get it back up to 700. You know, I didn't have the money to pay even the minimum on my credit card since March. Um, Soon my utilities will be turned off. What else? You know, um, I have health issues that I just don't want to deal with, and killing myself. I don't have to worry about having a stroke and not being able to take care of myself, or Alzheimer's or dementia, because, in my lifetime, I hadn't created an environment where at this point I have anyone that would help me if that happens. Um, so, here I am, as scared as I am, and I really don't want to kill myself. You know, I'll have to. I have to. Um, you know, did my family cause it? In part. They certainly had the ability to throw me a lifeline. And instead of that, they sent me nasty emails, or texts, I should say, that I'm trying to extort money from my father. Everything I had said in previous videos. Um, you know, I just have never, in the last 10 years, been able to get my head around who these people are, being my brother, his wife, my sister, and my father. The only one I can sort of understand where he's coming from is my father. And, the early years of his life, he was in a very abusive households. And perhaps that's where he learned to be the man he is. Um, I don't know. Um, I don't have, I would like to say I don't have the meanness in me that my family does, but I do, actually. My family, my reaction to a lot of my family's treatment of me is, I react meanly. Now, I haven't seen that part of me ever, but it's down there and it can come up. Um, when my dad talks to me with that tone of voice and that attitude, which is that button turns me back into, an 11-year-old. And it does it every single time. Um, I don't like that person that's down there. I think I've spent a lifetime collecting friends and business situations that were honest, nice, kind people. I can die knowing in my heart the type of person I am, and I search out honesty and kindness. And I know with forging that check, my family would be like, see, he's a thief, always has been. Which, they know that's not the case. On one hand, I would have done anything for him. Still with my dad. All he had to do is show up and apologize. I'm sorry for the way I talked to you. And will you forgive me? I'm grateful for you moving to Denver, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. That's all but I'd sooner get Trump to agree not to run next term than get my dad to say that. He's not. I mean, he feels vindicated now that his son's a thief. See, I always knew he was. Always knew it. But, my regret is that, I had to grow up with a father like mine. Now, was he the worst on earth? No. But he's far, far, far from being a good father to me, or my sister, or a husband to my mother, and in the end, a son to his mother. But from what I understand, he was always nice to my brother, who was 7 years younger than I am. My brother says he's never, spoken rudely or meanly to him in his life. But my brother is the type that, he lies. He'll tell you whatever you want to hear, whether it's, and that's the relationship he had with my father. I can't do that with my father, at least, Um, so, here I am at the end. I probably could, ramble on for hours more. I mean, although I've been able to give up 85% of the stress I've been under obsessing about my family, a lot of that's gone. 85% of it's gone. talking more isn't going to improve anything. So, but what I want to say to you, Brendan, is thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all those friends of mine who have been incredibly valuable to parts of my life, um, I will miss you. But I believe, in dying, I'll be at peace. I don't believe in heaven, don't believe in hell. Sometimes I wish there was either or, because maybe going to hell, at least you go somewhere, right? My belief is, you die, you die. Um, I do have a couple of requests. One, if you could help execute, I want to be cremated. I'd like to be cremated with my dog. If those ashes could be used to mix in with organic fertilizer, great. Otherwise, they can be tossed. I still have some very nice things. And Brendan, I would, if possible, like to give those to you. I have a rug, that is, 20 years ago, it was worth, $12,000. Might be, who knows what it's worth today, but you could probably at least get a couple thousand for it. I have a lot of cool art things. Um, you know, I still have what I've accumulated of a bit of a gourmet kitchen. Um, so, I'd like you to, have that. What I don't want to happen is that any of my family get anything, right? I want them to get nothing. Um, not even saying they'd want anything, but, no, I don't want them to, they can be glad and satisfied I'm gone. It'll just piss my sister off because, you know, she has to deal with my dad now. I mean, she plays the martyr, and everyone could have had me still in the picture if they treated me nicely and honestly, and I probably never would have made the decision to give up and, kill myself months ago, and I'd still have money in the bank to survive. Um, but, that it's all now water under the bridge. Um, I know I have more to say. I tried to take notes, but I just couldn't organize my thoughts well enough to outline it. It'd be nice, to have the time now to edit all this and get it down to a short version, but that takes, you have to have software to edit um, videos, and that doesn't come free. Let's see what else. There's something else that dawned on me that I need to tell you, Brendan. Um, you know, um, if you want to call uh, the property manager, who I don't know what their name is once I'm gone, and get what you can take and show her this. This is kind of my last will and testament on a video. Um, it is the Grand Lowry, Lowry, Lofts at 200 Rampart Range and at apartment 250. I guess that's it. So with that, you know, um, I'll say good night and goodbye. Um, I pause because that song Edelweiss, when the little kids are running off the stage, if I had a voice, I'd sing it. Or not Edelweiss, that good night song from Sound of Music. Anyway, if you receive this, I'm gone. If you don't receive this, it means something else happened. But I don't believe in miracles. And it would take a miracle to get me out of my situation. So I want you to know I had a good life. I'm not dying unhappy. I'm not dying depressed or unhappy by any means. It's, um, again, for a lot of the hurdles I had to surmount, um, get over, I did all right in my life. And like I said, I know my heart, I'm an honest, decent, moderately kind person. I mean, I am a kind person. I just don't always express it in in the best way. But I'm not a mean, unkind. I was reviewing my life, and there was only two or three times I can think, and this is going back to elementary school, where I was ever mean to another kid or another man or woman. Um, but I've had wonderful experiences. Family aside, I've had wonderful experiences. I do. I miss my family. I miss my um, brother, sister, father, nephews, and niece. But, it was all working when we were in our little boxes and we knew how to deal with each other. My life imploded and my relationship with my family deteriorated. Was that my fault? I think I still showed up for them. Certainly did my dad. It's how they treated me back to the point where I was like, let's say a miracle happens and, I don't have to kill myself. I still would never talk to my family again or acknowledge them. If I was to live, I was going to change my name. I never wanted my name. I hated being named after my father. But I came up with the name Adam McKenney. Adam because, I've read a lot of biographies in my life. And the one that stands out the most was John Adams by John McAuliffe, I think. And although he's a religious guy, which I'm not, his life was so remarkable in a great way. You're either a John Adams fan or a Thomas Jefferson fan. And although Thomas Jefferson was agnostic or atheist, he wanted a government, small government, right? Small government, except for what works for wealthy landowners. So it's kind of that greedy version of government. John Adams said, no, we need a large government that's going to oversee all the people. Plus, he was an abolitionist. He did not believe in slavery. Even back in the 1700s, thought it was against God and the church and everything else. He paid all of his labor. He started from very humble beginnings and ended up having $100,000 at the end. Thomas Jefferson, with slaves, started out with a lot of inherited wealth and ended up flat broke. And that's not ragging on Thomas Jefferson. I just think, greed and self-interest is never as important as giving. And I could have given a lot more in life. Fortunately, at the end of my life now, I finally figured out what it is I really would have liked to do. But it took a lifetime of experience to get here. I never knew what it was. I'm not a passionate person. I would be passionate about nothing, but I found out, what I would, really, really like to do or like to pursue. And that was, community redevelopment and low income and homeless housing. And there are incredible programs and studies in top-notch colleges, universities. I looked into them for a while, but at my age and the cost it would be to go back to school, didn't make it possible. So anyway, I guess I've already said my goodbye. I guess that was just a footnote at the end. So anyway, bye everyone.